Thank you, Oz. That was very cathartic. Hit very close. For me, someone who also nurses some Catholic trauma there. So now we'll be hearing from Daisy. Daisy is a Queer Liberation Boorloo activist. She will be talking about her experiences applying for a gender recognition certificate while facing discrimination at work. Please welcome Daisy.
Thank you for having me. Forgot to add that in my speech, but just also want to acknowledge that this land belongs to the Whadjuk Noongar. This was never ceded. This was stolen land, and they are the rightful owners of this land, both past, present, and also future. So, yeah.
Always was, always will be.
Aboriginal land. So, hi, I'm Daisy. My pronouns are she, her, and I've discovered myself in late 2019. And these past few years have enlightened me as to who I really am after being fed so many lies by my family, the media, and society at large. Not helped by the government. And even now, there are still lies that are impacting me and my trans comrades significantly. I've been told that Australia is an extremely accepting country. And if that was true, then explain to me why I have to get so much documentation just to prove that I'm female.
Shame.
Explain to me why I have to leave the decision as to what gender I am to a board of people who don't even know me.
Shame.
Do I have to go to a board to determine I'm an atheist even though I was raised Catholic too? Do I need someone to tell me what my job should be before I apply for one? When I was a child, I would like to dress up in clothes that would be considered traditionally feminine. I'd even like to say that I am a girl. It made me feel so happy with myself, and I actually felt like I was a woman, even though everyone else stated otherwise. That was shut down, so I was forced to believe that doing so was unnatural and I should be embarrassed by it. And I believed them. But it would eventually lead to years of self-loathing, even when nothing seemed wrong at the time. I even tried to kill myself twice before I reopened that chapter. And I firmly believe that if I hadn't, I would not be here alive today. The existence of this board seems to only have the purpose to try and make me and my fellow trans comrades hate ourselves. The idea that a bunch of strangers would know who you are better than you yourself is ludicrous and narcissistic.
Shame.
I've been asked to provide doctor's notes and letters of support as evidence that I'm female, but why should I be expected to give evidence that I'm female when you have no proper evidence that I'm male? Is it because of my genitals? Do you base everything on genitals? You mean to tell me this whole time you focus solely on my genitals on childhood? Isn't that a bit fucking creepy? The board's narcissism has cost me deeply. I'm offered no protections from discrimination on the basis of my gender identity because my birth certificate, still lists me as the incorrect gender. This has led to discrimination, unsurprisingly. I am not allowed to enter the women's restroom at my own workplace because I have a penis and people see me as a man. I've tried to explain, but was shut down every time, so I've given up going to the toilet there, which does impact my health. While I'm not here to do my usual shtick of trying to be funny, I guess you could say transphobia makes me sick. Things are actually so bad that my boyfriend, who lives in the Netherlands, desperately wants to marry me, mainly for love, but also just to get me out of this hellhole. I've been told it is just a certificate. Who cares what it says? You know you're a woman. Why do you need some information? Well, these same people tell me I can't go to women's spaces because of that very certificate saying male. My own mother even told me I shouldn't compete in women's sports because of it. Not that I'll be good anyway. Unfortunately, I do not have any protections saying I can go there, so I'm taking quite a risk doing so. Because most cis women actually don't give a shit, despite what TERFs might say, I haven't faced too many problems outside of work, but I'm always worried of something like this still happening, and I might be powerless to stop it. Most of the board is full of cis people, feel free to correct me if I'm wrong, who can't understand what it's like being trans. Not saying that makes them bad people outright. I mean, obviously it's harder to understand experiences that you don't go through, but they can't claim to be experts on this if they don't know what it's like. This cannot simply be solved by making everyone on the board trans, because we don't have a right to dictate to someone else who they are. The only solution is to abolish the board and introduce self-identification. This would make my life easier and solidify the gains in mental health I've achieved even further since I began my journey. We would see less trans suicides if this was in place. We would feel protected, safe, validated. Change might be scary to some, but it's natural and cannot be fought no matter what law you throw at it. The best we can do is let it progress, because when you look at it, it wouldn't have any impact on you unless you are trans, and the impact on trans people would be beautiful. If Australia really is such a lovely place, as I'm told, why not try to maximise the number of people who can feel that? Thank you. Thank you.